Welcome to today's news wrap up. Let's dive right into the top stories making headlines today. President Trump announced the creation of a new intelligence advisory board aimed at advancing his America First agenda. Devin Nunes, CEO of Trump Media, will serve as chairman, along with other notable figures like Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s daughter-in-law, Amaryllis Fox Kennedy, and former National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien. This board will advise Trump on national security issues, with Nunes previously gaining recognition for exposing the FBI's misuse of FISA warrants. The board's formation reflects Trump's ongoing focus on national security and oversight. Despite facing a challenging Senate confirmation process, Tulsi Gabbard has been confirmed as President Trump's Director of National Intelligence. And y'all know I'm a big supporter of Tulsi. The former Democratic representative secured the position with the support of key Republicans, overcoming concerns raised about her past stances and interactions. Gabbard's approval signifies a significant addition to Trump's administration, showcasing the president's ability to navigate Senate obstacles and place allies in critical roles. President Trump announced that Russia has agreed to start immediate negotiations to end the war in Ukraine. He revealed this development after a lengthy call with Vladimir Putin, where they also discussed the historical cooperation between the U.S. and Russia. Trump mentioned that both sides will have their teams begin the negotiations and emphasized the need to end the conflict that has caused significant loss of life. He also spoke with Ukrainian President Zelensky, who expressed a desire for peace and highlighted an upcoming meeting in Munich to further these negotiations. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has taken a major step towards becoming the Secretary of Health and Human Services under President Trump. His controversial nomination advanced to a final Senate vote with a 53-47 party line decision. Despite his vaccine skepticism, or what they call his vaccine skepticism, we know he really doesn't have a problem with vaccines. He have a problem with certain vaccines, but that's a whole nother story. In previous clashes with scientific communities, Kennedy secured support from key Republicans, including Senators Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski, which was very, very surprising. They endorsed him after he made commitments to work with Congress on vaccine safety and public health initiatives. Pam Bondi, who I am starting to like more and more, the newly sworn-in Attorney General, announced a lawsuit against New York for prioritizing illegal immigrants over American citizens, violating federal law. New York's green light laws allowing illegal immigrants to obtain driver's licenses and restricting federal access to license information were a key issue. Bondi emphasized that non-compliance with federal law would be met with legal action, citing similar actions taken against Illinois. Bondi was joined by Tammy Nobles, an angel mom whose daughter was murdered by an illegal immigrant, highlighting the dangers of sanctuary policies. The lawsuit aims to hold New York accountable and ensure compliance with immigration laws. A federal judge has reinstated President Trump's deferred resignation program for federal workers, dismissing a lawsuit by labor unions. I knew this was going to happen because I kept saying this is not mandatory. This is voluntary. So why would they try to stop the program if it's voluntary? He's not making anyone accept these severance packages. But the judge ruled that the plaintiffs were not directly impacted by the program, which offered buyouts to over 2 million federal employees. The ruling supports the administration's effort to return workers to their offices and reduce the federal workforce. Unions criticize the program as a tactic to pressure employees to quit, but the court found no legal standing for their claims. Again, it's voluntary. The Department of Government Efficiency has discovered 2.7 trillion with a T trillion dollars in fraudulent and improper government payments. These payments, which include Medicare and Medicaid funds, have been sent overseas to ineligible recipients. White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt highlighted the ongoing efforts to identify and combat fraud, waste, and abuse as part of President Trump's campaign promise. DOJ's investigation continues to uncover significant issues with federal spending, aiming to hold the government accountable. Thank God someone is finally doing this. Republican Congressman Brandon Gill is pushing for the arrest and deportation of Ilhan Omar to Somalia on charges of treason. That's right. He accuses her of aiding illegal immigrants in invading ICE and facilitating an invasion at the southern border, which is absolutely true. She's helping these people circumvent the law. Gill's fundraising emails call for supporters to sign a petition arguing that Omar's actions are a betrayal to the United States and its citizens, and I agree. Omar, who arrived in the U.S. as a refugee and later became a citizen, has been a vocal advocate for immigration rights and has faced persistent allegations about her past. Don't let me get started about her marrying her brother. Crazy stuff. Cincinnati Children's Hospital has refused a heart transplant for a 12-year-old Adeline Deal, related to Vice President J.D. Vance by marriage, because she is not vaccinated against COVID-19 and the flu. You can't make this up. In 2025, people are still getting denied services for not taking the jab. This is crazy. This is 2025. How is this still happening? The hospital requires these vaccinations for transplant eligibility, which conflicts with Adeline's family religious beliefs and non-denominational Christians. Adeline, born with heart defects, has been treated at the hospital for nearly a decade. Her mother, Janine Deal, expressed shock and frustration, feeling that the decision prioritizes policy over saving her daughter's life. Disgusting, disgusting work. This is crazy. Who in their right mind would do this to a child? To anyone, really. The Consumer Product Safety Commission has officially ended its review of the health risks posed by gas-powered stoves. Acting Chairman Peter Fieldman emphasized the federal government should not interfere with consumer choices. The decision concluded a process that critics feared might lead to a ban on gas stoves, marking a significant setback. The decision concludes a process that critics feared might lead to a ban on gas stoves, marking a significant setback for climate activists and Democrats advocating for electric alternatives. This move aligns with President Trump's broader energy agenda to reverse Biden-era regulations and preserve consumer freedom. Ted Cruz praised the administration for stopping what he called government overreach, and that's exactly what it is. Stay out of our kitchens, government. The Federal Communications Commission, or FCC, is investigating Comcast and NBC Universal over potential violations of anti-discrimination laws due to their diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. FCC Chairman Brendan Carr cited substantial evidence suggesting that these programs may promote discrimination, which conflicts with federal laws. The investigation aims to address DEI-related discrimination across various sectors regulated by the FCC. This comes amid broader scrutiny of media companies and their practices, with particular attention on figures like Al Sharpton and his involvement with Comcast DEI initiatives. Democratic lawmakers are facing internal conflicts as they struggle to counter President Trump's actions and the cost-cutting efforts of the Department of Government Efficiency, because most Americans agree with what they're doing. Many House Democrats are frustrated with resistance groups urging their supporters to pressure lawmakers, highlighting their limited power as the minority party. Divisions have emerged within the party, with some members pushing for strong opposition to Trump's agenda, while others are open to collaborating with Republicans. Amidst this turmoil, Trump enjoys high approval ratings, with many voters backing his administration's efforts to reduce government spending. Again, like I said, the majority of Americans are all for what Trump is doing to cut back the government fraud and waste. Lastly, U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth announced that the Pentagon is ending climate change-related spending from the Biden era to eliminate wasteful spending. Instead, the Department of Defense will focus on, quote, deterring and winning wars. That's exactly what a military is supposed to do, right? And Trump's Department of Government Efficiency, led by Elon Musk, will review the Pentagon spending to identify waste and redirect funds towards military readiness. Hegseth criticized previous climate spending as irrelevant to the Pentagon's core mission, emphasizing the need for efficiency and effective use of taxpayer dollars. Well, that's it for today's news wrap up. Stay tuned for more updates, and don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.